It's 9 o'clock. Could you please stand and join us for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the Monday, January 5th, 2026 meeting as written.
I'll move. I'll second.
Been moved by Peterson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Miscellaneous motions. I would make a motion to appoint Mark Peterson as chairman of the Coffee County Board of Commissioners for the year 2026.
I'll second.
Been moved by Thompson and seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion?
Something you want to accept?
I can do it.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I need a motion to appoint a vice chairman.
I nominate Steve McCurry to fill the position of vice chairman.
I'd second that.
Okay, got a motion by Abendroth, seconded by Thompson. Was that to nominate or to appoint?
To appoint.
To appoint?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed, same sign? Okay, Steve's the vice chairman. All right. I'm looking for an agenda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me go print those off. Here's Bateman. If you want to see those.
Do these go down to Mark now?
Well, you all can look at them, but he'll sign them, yeah.
Okay, but I looked at them on the screen, so.
I'll print it off for you.
Okay.
It's at the very top.
Okay, we do have one more miscellaneous, well, actually, I've got a couple more miscellaneous motions. Got an entertain motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign 4 tax abatements in the amount of $2,514.76.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, got motion by Thompson, second by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Okay, and then we have a entertain a motion to authorize the direct the chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Keith Martin, Jail Corrections 1, new hire, subject to hire IPP, wage classification 30-3, wage $20.47, effective January 6, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All right, got a motion by McCurry, seconded by Barker. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. And we have are we gonna do this resolution now, or is that coming up later?
You can go ahead and do it. I will change the names of who's chairman and vice chairman, if you would.
Okay, we have resolution number 2026-625 AB. It's a resolution providing that the Board of County Commissioners of Coffee County, Kansas shall cause its financial statements and financial reports of the said municipality to be prepared on the basis of cash receipts and disbursements as adjusted to show compliance with the cash basis and budget laws of the state. I would make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by Abendroth, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0.
There's one more, or two more, I think, resolutions we need to do there. Yeah.
So do you want to tackle these resolutions
Yes.
right away?
Please, go ahead.
Got resolution 2026-847F. A resolution of the Board of Coffee County Commissioners authorizing participation in Rural Opportunity Zone Student Loan Repayment Program, calendar year 2026.
So moved.
I'll second. These are the resolutions that we do every year, is
Yes,
that correct?
yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the cash basis,
And
and then this is the opportunity zone that we don't participate in, but you still have to pass the
you still have to
resolution.
do the resolution.
And then the next one is, for the bank. They require a resolution now. They didn't used to, but they want a resolution from the Board of County Commissioners, so.
Okay. And we have that motion by Barker, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. And then we entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2026-969. It's a resolution establishing signatories for bank accounts of Coffee County, Kansas.
Also move.
So I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion by Thompson, seconded by Avendroth. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. That takes care of our miscellaneous motions. And first item on our agenda is CFS engineer Saban Yanez.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I believe I was contacted by Jenny and Carl just to get in front of you the final water study report. As you all know, we led the report as your county engineer, but each of the water districts had their own engineering firm, so we had to coordinate the data collection from them so that there was not a duplication of expenses on any water reporting and things of that nature. So I have the full report. I brought 2 copies, one for Carl Lee and one for Jenny. We've been working with them, and they've been providing us comments and feedback back on the document. I would say that maybe the highlights that you probably are looking for that would be of interest to you. First, I'll say a couple of no surprises. The city of Burlington has the most robust, up-to-date system. In general, when you go outside the city of Burlington, there are pressure issues, certainly with respect to service in the southern part of the district and District 2. They have more pressure issues than any of the other areas in the county. But they also are probably the slowest growing part of your county. So Midwest Engineers, who their engineer has identified a list of priority projects, presented that to their district board, and so that'll be something that they will need to deal with. A general comment I would make too is fire control, fire suppression is somewhat weak throughout the entire county, and that goes for all districts primarily because of the size of lines and the type of system that the lines have been built with have been more for your, I'll call it your residential supply and your commercial supply. Fire suppression requires some different capabilities. So many of the lines that exist today really can't handle fire hydrants. So there's a scenario there that, again, each district needs to look at as far as fire suppression. A couple of the things that started the study initially was the possible CHIPS project up at Beto, which is really what kind of kicked off some of this initial study. In the document, even the draft I given you before, we've updated some of the numbers because as Jenny continues to receive interest in that property for development, there was a need to look at what can be done up there. Then all that data is in here. The Wholesale District 12 has produced several project estimates that I've included in here, and all of those were based on, I'll say, serving numbers as that entire industrial park might build out into the future.
Did you say that's 12 out of Melbourne?
Yes, that's 12 out of Malvern, which again, they provide to Coffee 3, Anderson 4, they have a group of them that they provide to. And again, those estimates are included in the document. I guess I would share with you one of the other things tied to that, specifically to Vito. We did include in here a little bit of research. As you may know, our senior engineer that was working on this also is the mayor of DeSoto, so he was involved with the Panasonic plant, and it would seem to be a good model for the type of growth that could happen in Vito. And so we've provided a scenario for someone's use, whether it be Wholesale District 12 or Coffee 3 or the combination of both, on how, if and when there is a possible development up there, how to put together an agreement with the developer on the potential of how water improvements get funded to serve that area. Then the last piece that probably interest of you is the airport expansion. One of the series of questions that Carl had asked us to confirm was, the capability of providing water there now. There is capability to provide water with the development that's happened now, but in this document, there's also a proposal on how to upgrade that system to a 6-inch or 8-inch line. Either one would be effective. The 8-inch actually we would recommend, because then you could put the fire suppression on that and it would handle your entire development out into the future. Again, these are all projects that the water districts would be, have to work with you on, but all the documentation is in here, and I thought most importantly would be these ideas of what recommendation projects you might be seeing from the water districts to benefit the county. So with that, I appreciate your patience with this. It was, as I mentioned to Jenny, it was a little bit like herding cats with the other firms, but we've got a report here. I guess one last thing I would say is I expect that even though this is final, the engineers that we've been working with the water districts, I'm expecting we're going to continue to get updates from them, because they are working on other things that weren't necessarily tied to the study, but we learned about as they were giving us information. So I did not bring 6 copies. There's 500 pages, but I did want to leave them with the staff, and appreciate the opportunity to serve you all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for doing
Do
that.
we have any questions for Cindy?
Well, addressing your comments about the, the southern part of the county, I wouldn't disagree that they are, the slowest growth area. I mean, a goal of mine that I would like to see happen is if we could get water from north all the way to the south line, and to help take care of these issues. That's a goal of mine I'd really like to see accomplished. And I don't know, I know that costs some money, but we're, as you said now, they're even though their growth is slower, they're already behind because they have the most pressure issues. So that's just something that I would like to see. And this study, I mean, this is telling us what we have and what we're dealing with now. I mean, does it have proposals of how to cure some of these things?
It does. In fact, District 2, in here, they have some priority projects. And to your point, Commissioner, they have put a priority on. In general, what they have there is they don't have an issue of water loss. A lot of times with your water line systems, as they age, you start to experience water loss.
Right.
They don't have that issue. They just have a size issue. So they do have a couple of projects in here specifically looking at maybe upsizing their supply line that comes out of Burlington and heads that direction to help them with that flow. there is a combination of other, projects they've listed that then, once that happens, would still probably need to eventually come, like upsizing. They have some 1-inch lines and some 2-inch lines that really, I think in one area, they have a line that serves 71 meters, and that area, the only thing that keeps it really as successful as it is they have a commercial business on the end of the line, so it's driving more steady flow, which helps the pressure in the line. So your point is valid, but there are some recommendations in there specific to your point.
Yeah, because I mean, Burlington's done a great job of supplying their portion of it, as the other areas. I mean, if we get a industry that's a huge demand, then I'd sure like to see us try to harness some of the Maritazine Valley
Yeah.
water rather than dependent on the Osho for everything,
And-
for the long term. To
Yeah,
look
yeah.
50 or 100 years down the road, to try to secure some of that water, from the Melbourne Lake as part of our supply.
So to your point, I'm gonna go back in time, when Carl and I met with the Kansas Water Office a couple of years ago now. Maritazine was an area that we certainly discussed with them. It has options. Again, it's another solution that comes from a different area. That one is not really costed in here, because at the time, Wholesale 12, it seems to come together. It's a
Okay.
closer route. But that is a very reasonable solution to look at. Certainly helps Waverly, and it can help that area getting more supply to your county as a whole.
Well, I'm just trying to look way down the line. I mean, if everything continues to grow from, Olathe and all that area, if we have more water demand, I mean, somewhere down the line, that could be an issue, not having enough water rights.
Well, I also think that the example we've given in here on, of a development agreement as development occurs, and how those costs are shared with developers for water improvements, I think those can apply whether it be at Vito Junction or at the airport, or a improvement that happens in Gridley. I would say just keep that in mind. There's a good list of recommended projects by those districts that could be put into some sort of development strategy.
Because District 12, they've got the water supply, their facility just won't handle
Correct.
any
Correct.
larger,
Correct. That's correct.
They're maxed.
volume.
They have
They're
some
maxed out.
capability now. So for example, if a business went into Vito Junction, if we were talking about, I'll call it a one-off or one or two off, they could handle that. But it's
But
when-
something like the chips,
Yes.
they wouldn't have been able to
Yes,
handle that.
that's right. It was, it's a
Right.
whole different size
Right.
of water use.
Right. So on the southern part of it, so the first thing that would need to be done is larger lines, is that correct? And then from there, a larger supply tank or a larger.
They definitely have supply tank issues.
Right.
In their report, portion of the report, they really lack a reserve, to be honest with you. Their reserve is getting more water from Burlington or from Emporia. That is their only method, because their tanks are not big enough. If they were to have their own reserve, they would need a tank of about 250,000 gallons. Currently combined, they're 125, 150, so they need that much more to be able to be kind of self-sustaining.
They could sell meters and move more people that way if they have water.
If they have,
Yeah.
if they have
Large-
supply, right.
I get phone calls from people, what can we do to get more water down here?
Yeah.
What can we do?
And I think that's what, to Wade's point, I think that was,
But with the
mentioned
start, with the
a couple
tower,
of years ago, yeah.
So,
that allows them to do that.
so that is maybe somewhat of a limiting factor in
Yes,
that growth,
absolutely.
There's people that want to build down there, but they just can't get the meters because of the water problem.
That's right, Todd.
So that is part of the equation, and we need to go on for the future.
So I guess, going back to that, and I don't know, I guess the length of the life of a line, but in my mind, it'd be very beneficial if we could lay a bigger line, comes here to Burlington, something that, could transition into multiple suppliers. Just not my area of business, that's my thought.
Well, the estimate that they have in here for what they call the south 4-inch trunk line, which would be the priority line they're talking about, that Midwest Engineers has put together, total cost about $1.3 million.
And for how big of a line?
4-inch. And that's just, you know,
And it's
example of
currently
that.
what?
It is currently, let me go back and find it here. I believe it's 3.
So that's about almost double if you increase that an inch,
Mm-hmm.
than a 3-inch, correct? I don't know the figures on that, but obviously it doesn't go, the 4-inch will handle twice as much as a 2-inch. That's not how it works, because your diameter, your circumference increases.
Again, thank you for the opportunity. I'll leave these with Carl and Jenny, and so they'll be here for public use. And then we'll continue, as we get more information, that, again, as it comes from the water districts, I'll get them to Carl and Jenny, and we'll keep you apprised of any changes that the water districts make with respect to the study.
So it was like herding cats, huh?
It was a little challenging. But I understand, you know, they're doing their job for the water district too,
Yeah.
so, doing the best we can, so. Again, thank you.
All right, thanks, David.
So on the check we have, are we to release it now, or?
Yeah, I think that's what we said. Once we got the final water study.
Okay.
sent
I
it.
just want to make sure.
And I'll let you guys know that now that we kind of have the water study in hand, Carl and I will continue to review it. We've already been having some conversations with, like our Whit O'Brien rep with the Kansas Infrastructure Hub on grants and possible funding, to look at some of these projects and to see, like, you know, how would it work out to move forward on some of these. So I'll let you guys know kind of next session.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda, 9:30, are we expecting somebody from Kilo here?
Yet or not.
And we're early if they are here, we'll move on.
Jed is coming.
He is,
Jed,
okay.
yeah.
So we'll wait a little bit.
Here's these resolutions, if you'd like to find those.
Yeah, we got some on there for initial there.
Hello.
How's
it going?
How are you?
Pretty good. Did you guys get the access road? Did you get this sheet that kind of explained what was going on from Cook Flat?
I put it in your,
It's in the pad.
yeah, it's in your packet.
And so that kind of, Charles did that kind of explained kind of what these change orders, kind of breaks down what those change orders are. Change order 7 is the water line, lowering the water line at the 20th Road. And we already did that with the rural water district. And so we kind of went time and materials on that. And I've got I didn't submit it with that, but I submitted, of course, to Charles, all the materials, receipts, and everything that go along with that one. I mean, I can get that to you if you wanna look at it, but Charles okayed that.
Do you need copies of more? I mean, like, they have them all in there.
Yeah, there's a few things I have trouble reading exactly what it said.
Great.
Okay, I can print them off real quick if you want.
Which one you want?
Here, I've got a copy for you if you want.
I can read my.
We on 7?
Yeah, change order 7, which would be the phase lowering water lines.
That's phase 8. That's part of what I said, trouble.
That's another UPV 7, I got 2 of them.
Okay.
Do you need copies still?
Yeah, I'm all right.
So, you guys, on change order 7, do you guys have any discussions on that or any questions?
Do you have some? Yeah, don't you?
Number 1 on there, casing, 50 feet, 6-inch C900 casing, $900.
Yes.
Strong Lumber is where this invoice come from.
It's strong lumber. Okay.
Where did it go?
Where did the casing go?
Yeah, 6-inch water line. There's a $900 bill for it.
Yeah, no,
What you need?
You want some-
C900 6-inch water line, the $900 bill.
Yeah.
Where was it used?
Where was it what?
Where did it go? What was it used for?
It was used for casing up there at the south end of the road right there at Can Seal. Because we had to lower that in there also and case the line because it was just a 2-inch line, so we used C900. So if they wanted to expand it, go across the road, they'd have a bigger pipe to expand it with.
So there was 2 places
There's 2 places.
that the water line
That's what's
was
a little
lowered.
confusing. There's one at the south end and one at the north end. The one at the south end was Can Seal, the one that feeds their building. Okay, it comes from across the highway. It was actually low enough, but Chris did not want a road over without a casing, especially a paved road. So we went in there, we actually lowered it a little bit but we lowered it, put a casing in, and ran new, yellow mine pipe through it and everything. And actually we extended the culvert there and everything so that it wouldn't expose the fiber optic cables and everything else that were running right there at the same time. But it literally, that line's right there by that, where that drainage tube goes, that we put in, goes across. The other one's at the north end. It was a 2-inch line. Chris we just went with a 4-inch casing, I believe, on it, or 6, I don't remember for sure. But it was up there where we did that hard cut at the north end. And there was no way, when we cut the road down, we were leaving about 6 inches of dirt on top of it, so it had to be lowered for freeze-proof. So we went in there and dropped it all down and helped him get it all hooked back up and stuff, so.
And that was at the north end, Mike?
Yeah, at the north end, yeah, they're on 20th Road, yeah.
Chlorine on that same ticket, is that to burn it out?
The chlorine.
Chlorine,
Yeah.
was that for a burnout after
Burn
you
out
did the water line?
Yeah, yeah, yep, you got it. When we put the new line in, we fill it full of chlorine, shoot a little water in it, then come back within 24 hours, flush. Chris does all the testing. He usually pulls the water test and sends it off to state to make sure we got a good clean burn. But usually we put enough stuff in there, and I've never had one come back bad. But
4 pairs of rubber boots.
yep, remember the boots that go on the end of your pipe to seal it up so it doesn't fill full of mud and dirt. So if you want to pull a new pipe in the casing, you put a rubber boot around each end,
These like fern coats?
like Fernco's,
Okay.
but they're,
So they're not actually rubber boots that you put on your feet?
no, they're
Because
actually,
that's kind of the illusion we got from the bill.
I get it, but that's what we call a rubber boot, but everybody calls them whatever,
Do I?
you want to call them a Fernco.
Okay.
You asked what the,
I asked Skillman the same question.
okay.
It looks like they used 4-inch SIDR 21 up on the north end for a casing, and then they run 2-inch yellow line under there when they drop their water line to run to the east. Is that right?
That, whatever it said, I couldn't remember for sure what we had done, but
And that was the water district that did that?
we worked with them, we did all the digging, we provided the pipe, I think they provided the yellow line.
According to their bill, they provided all the pipe.
Well, they might have on that one, I know we did on the other one, so.
Okay. And that project's done?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that project's done.
otherwise we'd have,
That was,
yeah, it's done, we'll just leave it, it's done.
Yeah.
That's about all I got on 7. Todd, you got anything?
Was this submitted for bids?
the
This,
what,
this number 7 that
No.
we've been talking about?
it was not submitted for bids. No, it needed to be lowered, and then they knocked it out, and that's why it's time materials at this point. But there was no like submittal before.
So why not? I mean, obviously, time wasn't of an essence here. This was a project that could have been delayed until it went out for bids.
Well, we wanted to come in from the north to get the asphalt in, and we couldn't come in from the north until that water line on the north side was done. Because we need to put rock, we wanted to take rock all the way to the end, so we could bring trucks in that way.
Okay.
We get on here, and you have to excuse me, I'm not in the construction business, but did we use a backhoe for 3 straight days at 8 hours a day?
I can say it again,
Did we use a backhoe for 3 straight days, 8 hours a day?
it was up there present and we were working. Yeah,
So we were billed for having it up there when it wasn't working?
it was on the job, we were working there, opened it up. We took a little while because we had to spot the line. We redug around the other line because we did not shut the other line down. So we dug around the other line. And then we went back up, we set everything, we put the material in, then went back in and hooked the line in, and then backfilled all that and took the old line out at that time and backfilled all that stuff. So,
Well, I know I've rented backhoes for a month and they haven't been that much.
well, that's,
Any other questions concerning change order 7?
I don't have any.
All the questions I had about it been answered.
Are we,
I don't know, do you need to do a motion or something to approve those, or?
we have 2 change orders, and change order 7 and 8. Do we need a motion for each of them, or can we do them together, or do we even need a motion?
I'd like to have a motion for each individual one. Because I got questions for number 8 also.
Okay.
Do they need to be signed?
Yes, they'll need to be 7, I'd like that to be signed. Both of them, if approved.
Okay, so let me fix that real quick.
So change orders to
depending on where you are, change orders sort of, get approved and pass through. Historically, you started with the jail project because you're online and you wanna maintain transparency to have each change order explained, similar to pay apps, and then you make a motion for the paper trail in case anybody wants to question. When you reviewed it, when it was, they can look at the minutes, come back and watch online to see what that discussion was.
So there's not a problem, we can just change this to make a motion to approve number 7 and.
And then,
I've got one other question on here, not knowing things on this one, okay, that came from you guys. There's, material on there for, or not material, but supervisor, there's, operation and all that. And then we've got this one that comes from the water district. Also, there's 16 hours of supervisor and 2 operators for 12 hours. We had a lot of people out there standing around.
Yeah,
When you got the water district, they're overseeing their line, so they're gonna have people sitting there.
So
It's not my deal. I agree, Chris Withers does a freaking good job up there on that water district, he takes care of things. You know, and a lot of times he takes a lot of stuff and doesn't even charge for it. This deal here, he charged us something for it, because he was up there making sure nothing got hit, everything got done right, because he takes responsibility for that line when it's done. So, you know.
Any other questions? We satisfied with the explanations? Were all the questions answered, I should say? So I guess entertain a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign change order number 7 for Kilo Construction for the SSM Airport Access Road.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. Now change order number 8. Do we have some questions on that?
okay. So,
Or explanation to begin with, I guess.
So, Charles, with Cook, basically tried to describe that in the first part of this, on why we're even having this. Has to do with the grade and slope. Cook Flat probably to explain a lot of the reasons. This has to do with KDOT and the project, and that's where this came from originally.
Which one is that? Is that redoing the ditches on the first,
You can just hold that. So, basically, we asked Cook to come up with the quantities and to fix the, I think more or less to satisfy KDOT, is essentially what we're talking about here. And, I came to the quantities, and we took the quantities, and Mike, quoted the quantities to, based on Cook came up with, and that's where it came from.
basically what the deal is, first phase up there, they had it all designed to drain everything across in the state right away. Okay, that's the way we put the road in, to drain it across. In the process of they didn't even have the asphalt down. We were just getting the road base down. The state comes along and said, hey, would you have them check with us, because I don't think they have permission, is what I was told. So, yeah, whatever, you know, Chuck took it from there, and then them and the state had their own battle on who was draining water where and whatnot. Had nothing to do with us, it was all them. And then the conclusion is this deal here, because the state said, instead of us cutting that whole berm down along the right-of-way, then we're gonna put another tube in, and we're gonna run some ditches in order to collect the water and push it across in some locations, rather than running it over the berm through the, you know, across the whole thing. So, this is just literally trying to fix what wasn't right in the first place. I don't know how else to put it.
So will some of this water be going east, Mike? Did
Yes.
I read in there somewhere that some of this water is gonna go to the east? By,
Yeah, and-
by the new building there?
And that's what they're trying to do is this, there's two whistles. They're talking about putting one end down, about roughly halfway down on the first half of the road that we put in.
You're
Okay.
talking phase one now.
Phase one,
Right,
this is all
right,
phase
right.
This
one.
is all
Right,
phase one.
right.
Okay. And what that's gonna do is they're gonna re-ditch the east side of phase one. Part of it will go to that whistle I put in down there by Can Seal, and the rest of it will come into this new one. We'll cut across the road somewhere in the middle there. Basically, it's about straight across from where that culvert that crosses under the highway going over to Allen Barrett's. It's about straight across from that. And then there'll be another one just at the north end of SSM that we're gonna re-ditch on the west side of the road between the state right-of-way and the road, and push the water to the north and then back to the east, like you said, across the road, and take it down back onto the right-of-way there, along SSM, and then down into the terrace and stuff there.
End up and go north of the runway, go that way then eventually.
Well, technically it doesn't. Technically it loops around. Because of the way that was terraced, it loops around back to the south
Okay.
and goes out and dumps over the cut right there by the taxiway is where it technically goes. But eventually, yes, it does end up going there and then clear around the end to that pond that's down there on the northeast corner of the runway.
Has this all been permitted by the state?
It had, to my knowledge,
In writing, do we have, Saban, do we have a
We have-
permit
We have documented emails from them.
that we can, because the last time we were doing this, you thought we had it and we didn't.
Yeah, we do.
They have it in an email. to
Yes,
you
we
guys.
have multiple emails.
Okay, because that's what we just like some assurance that they're not gonna change their mind.
Pay
You
for the
guys,
third time.
you guys are making plans to try to fix this,
I
and
agree 100%.
we just all want it fixed.
If you remember, our debate was, even with the original design, there was so little flow change that we were using the existing system.
I
And
understand.
that's when KDOT got sideways with it, and we had to work through a number of ways to finally get to this answer.
two different people interpreting it two different ways. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
What he's talking about there, the amount of water is not that much
No.
water.
Very minimal,
Yeah.
correct.
Because if you look at the hill there to the east of that road, it breaks and starts going the other way. You know, it's just, there's a hump right there.
Yeah.
So,
Very
It is
little
what it
coming
is.
You're
west.
talking on the north side there.
north side of Can Seal.
Right.
There's kind of a hump there,
Right.
part of that rolls one way and the rest of
Right.
it rolls straight north and down around the other side, so.
Okay.
So, these pipes for change order number 8, they haven't been installed yet, have they?
No,
So, the original engineering that went on for phase 1 didn't include these pipes?
No, there was no pipes. We actually had a pipe added up there by Canseal because of the way their yard drained. They talked about spilling in the yard, but it would make it so flat, and Canseal's sewer system is right out there on that north side. So it would cause an issue with it too. So we asked the engineers if they'd entertain putting that first whistle in at the south end, and they did. And so we put that in to help alleviate that water coming around Canseal, rather than trying to push it over the road.
So since phase one is where we're at, the original engineering did not dictate this culvert that we're talking about today. And it since has been re-engineered.
Because of the state, yes.
Okay. Was there an added cost to that? Saban, did you guys submit a bill to the county for the second?
We did not do a change order, it was within our original budget.
So the second part of the engineering was covered?
Yeah, because again, we didn't ask for any more funds, we did it within the budget that was approved for the project.
Okay. So currently this job is on hold, according to this.
Yes.
So in my opinion, change order number 8 is a proposal. Because you can't do anything until this job starts again, according to this documentation that I received.
Well, trying to get the paperwork through so that
Yeah, no, we haven't.
we open back up, we would be able to go get it done so they can get the paving done.
But we have no definitive time that it's going to be allowed to.
I mean, basically, yes, I guess I did not plan on getting this done,
I mean, we just offered an extension on this, till the end of July?
Yeah, we weren't planning on doing it like next week. This would just be, when approved, this would start when the weather is
Permissible?
and then we'd start at that, whenever that might be.
But if the weather's good here in the next month or so, why not get it done?
Cutting road ditches, top line, $18,000, 192. Who's doing it? Are you doing it as Kilo, or are you?
We're doing it.
I'm not doing any of this. As far as Kilo Construction employees are not gonna be doing it.
So you subcontracted all of it out?
Yes.
The dirt will all have to be hauled off. That's part of the deal. It's not like we're just gonna roll these ditches into a roadway. Because there's already a roadway there, so everything we cut out has to go into a truck or something and hauled down to a lower area or whatever.
Do we
That's
have
why
a
you're-
place out there to store the dirt?
I didn't hear you, Mike.
Do we have a place at the airport
Yeah,
to store this
there's
dirt?
still areas out there.
And I assume it's probably pretty good topsoil?
No, that there won't be. That's that old farm ground.
It's pretty thin there.
It's pretty plain right there. That's best thing I ever did, is sow it down the grass.
Yeah, I paid it,
Yeah. I used to spray it years ago for McCurry.
We did, that was fun then.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Down here on phase 2, it has discussion with fiber utility determined that this would take a while to get lowered. Who does the fiber?
So.
That's at the north end, right? Yeah, that's the north end.
So we haven't really, does the fiber need to go lower?
I think they spotted it, and, at this time, I don't think it needs to be lowered, but when we ever do what I'll call a phase 3, where we tie in the 20th road and get a little more of a project, and riding some right away through there, at that time, it would definitely need to be lowered at that time, but for what's taking place with this project, no, it did not need to be lowered.
This would be running east and west along 20th that you're talking about?
Yes.
South side of the ditch.
I see.
Have any further questions?
Well, my opinion on this one is phase 8, I'd like to push that off for a couple of weeks so I can look into that, but that's my opinion on this one. I don't think this needs to be done today, in my opinion. since the work has stopped out there and we're not doing anything at the moment. So,
How's the rest of the board feel about that? Wait a week or two?
I think we need time for him to look over this overall with the weather situation and moving off a little bit.
That's fine.
You okay with 1 week or two weeks?
2 weeks.
Gonna put, I guess, go ahead and put change order number 8 on hold for
Okay.
reconsider it in 2 weeks.
And then
That'd be
back
the
to-
26th meeting.
You wanna do 9:30 again, Jed? Or
I gotta look at,
you gonna call me? Email?
oh, yeah, I mean, we'll talk.
Does any of this cost come out of that grant that was out there for us, or is this, have we used all the grant money?
Oh, I'm
That's
not,
a good question for Garrett.
yeah, I don't know about all that.
I think that's a question for Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I mean, is this $30,000 proposal out of the tax money, or does it get covered by the grant? That's one of my questions.
So so that would be, you get a grant on that?
I think we just, let me send an email to Garrett, and we'll have an answer whenever you
Yes, sir.
bring it up in a couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Nathan.
Mike, I got one other question
Yes,
here.
sir.
We got a bill here from Harshman's, it's to, Skillman Construction for 2 loads of gravel. That was claim that came from, the Waverly thing. Then we also have a bill here from Skillman's Construction for hauling 2 loads of rock, but they're on different days.
Now, what, one is just showing that the rock and everything that we went in, the hauling probably got billed on a separate day, that's the only difference.
I didn't know we had another 2 loads of rock out there somewhere.
No, it's just, we put the other bill in there, see, they wanted to know costs, you got to see the cost. That's why we put it on there. The bill just didn't get made out till later, so that's why.
Any other questions for him? I'm good right now.
Okay, we'll consider change order number 8 at the January 26th meeting. Alright,
I might have a small conflict, but, I mean, I could send Ken to, or somebody else down, I guess.
We can kick it out to a later date if you want.
Okay, I'll look, kinda see, I just have something. But yeah, I'll go back and look at the schedule.
Okay.
I'll get with him.
Okay. Perfect.
That's all right.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So, yep. Sorry for all the questions. It's
Part of it.
part of it.
This is it.
Do you-
So,
Do you have change order 7 signed?
Yes.
Make
So-
a copy.
since that particular one, as soon as I get all the American-made materials certifications, I will be, since that was completed, I will be putting a pay estimate for that change order 7 and a future date, just like
Okay.
Okay. And I'll email Angie.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'll email Angie on the 26th.
Is that gonna change then from what we got here?
No, but I have to, the way Cook and Garrett, they like it to me to submit a separate one that says not change order on it, that says.
Okay.
But I mean, it's
I
the
thought
same
you were
number.
gonna look at different prices or
No,
something.
there's no different prices, it's just more of a formality.
Okay, I understand.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
thanks a lot.
Alright, break times? Yeah. Let's take a 10-minute break. We'll return here at 10:04.
Reach it from here.
That was easy. I'll punch it.
He said it's the other section, that's easy.
Oh.
That's what it's historically been.
Okay. All right, we're back in session. And next on the agenda, we have Economic Development Director Jimmy Tapman to review the RFPs for engineering services regarding the Race Trails Planning Grant.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Monday.
Very happy.
So, following up on November 17th, you guys approved for us to go ahead and post the RFP for engineering services for the Race Trails Grant. So we did get that posted. We put it out for 30 days. We received 4 proposals from engineering consultants. So I've got those. I sent them to Angie, and did you include those in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the documents. I kind of reviewed them. I also sent them to Ryan, and he reviewed them. And this, I'm still new to this process, how it works with the county when we're choosing consultants. So Ryan had a suggestion for reviewing all of the RFPs, and there's a system. I
Yeah,
think, that we
basically there's
normally-
a process
Yeah.
when you receive these proposals. Typically you put like a small committee of like 3 people together, and then there's a grading, kind of a systematic that you go through, and point system based factors that you fill out, and you kind of go through that, and that's kind of your starting point. Get some of that information done, and then you look through it, evaluate it, and then you would select, one of the proposals at that point.
So I just wanted to check, is that the process that you guys want us to go through with this, if that's normally what we do with like road type projects? I know this one's a little bit different, but I want to make sure we're just going through
I'll
the
just give you an
normal
example, this
process.
is just the final sheet that,
Want to form a little subcommittee?
Right, to kind of review and do a score. I mean, I want to make sure we're doing it fair across all.
Thank you.
this is just an example here, this isn't one that we've actually done, but it's similar to what we would do here.
Got anybody in mind to put on it?
I mean, we could put myself, I would hope maybe Ryan would be on there since he knows road projects, and then 1 or 2 of the commission, would be my suggestion, unless there's anyone.
I think a group of 3 would
Yeah.
be,
So you typically have to.
that's what we do in our office, we typically assign 3 people.
Anyone wants to volunteer to review?
Well, Wade just gave up his position, so he needs something to
The proposals are pretty short. I mean, they're all 5 pages or less, so it's not a ton of detail. And I have started going through it. Last week, called some of the references and taking notes on, similar projects they've all worked on before.
We have a construction specialist on our board.
I think, for this one,
So what?
I said I'm getting something.
It said something about
All right,
10 minutes. So, Mike, you're saying you'd be okay?
I got voluntold, yes.
All right. We have a 3-member subcommittee, I guess.
okay, so,
Kenny and Ryan, are you on that also?
Yeah, either myself or Kenny, one of the 2,
Right.
either one of us.
someone from Road and Bridge would be good. So we'll meet, we'll review, and, like I told Ryan this morning, we're not on a huge time crunch. I did get I've been emailing our federal highway, project officer every couple weeks we still have not got the grant agreement signed. I heard from her on Friday that they're still waiting. There's a review team on their side, that's still just in holding or whatever. I mean, we can keep asking. Just the feedback I keep getting is it's to the people that need to sign it. They don't know why they haven't signed it yet. Hopefully we get it signed. So I'll keep checking back. Hopefully I'll have a better answer soon, but in the meantime, we can still review, and at least if we have an engineering firm we want to work with, we'll have them ready to go once we get the documents signed. So, sounds good on that one. Since I'm up here, I did have one more thing this morning I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about. So I'm on the, serve as the Coffee County representative for the executive board for Southeast Regional Planning Commission. At our last meeting, they brought up, they have a list of a regional, just general commission members from each county that's in the Regional Planning Commission. They're trying to update their list. The current list for Coffee County had Rhonda Truelove, Cody Haddock, Tom Huguenin, and Fred Rowley. Obviously, that needs to be updated. They suggest we put 3 to 4 people on the list. Obviously, if you guys are okay, I would still serve as the representative for Coffee County. But my suggestion for adding a couple other people just to the list doesn't mean you have to come to all the meetings, but they'll give you communications, and I think they try to gather a couple times a year for just general meetings. I would suggest putting our Chamber of Commerce Director, Cherie Bowman, on the list. There are other Chamber Directors on here, and then 1 to 2 of the Commissioners. Whoever would like to choose to represent to be on the list, and I'll just add you guys, and you'll get the email communications.
I think she would be excellent. Cherie would be.
Yeah.
She's really.
And she's
senior.
come to a couple of the general meetings anyway for the Planning Commission, so.
You can add me to the list.
Okay.
Yep.
So Cherie, Mark, would anyone else like to
So,
be on
any
it?
other commissioners?
I would.
Okay.
I met my.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was gonna point.
He's already been suckered.
No, it's not, like I said, it's not a huge time commitment, but I'll add you guys to the list. Okay. Did you guys have anything else for me this morning?
Have you heard anything from that, company that was looking into building these houses if they're at the?
So, I think we're kind of waiting still on the NIH grant. I checked in with, Kansas Housing Corp. Last week. They should be making those announcements, they said, in the next couple weeks for who received the grant, and I think that's kind of what they're waiting on to determine their next steps on how they're gonna proceed.
Gotcha.
So I'll keep you guys updated on how that shakes out, and then we'll keep moving forward on that project too.
Have you heard anything on the Natrium reactor?
So it's been kind of quiet officially. I haven't heard any, there hasn't been any more press releases or anything else from Evergy or TerraPower or the state. We're still working on the regional letter of support. I should have a draft to you guys by the end of the month to see if you feel comfortable signing it. Again, just the content of it is just going to be that regionally we have infrastructure, workforce. There's a lot about Coffee County in there being a very favorable site. We'll get that sent off. I am going to go down to Parsons tomorrow to talk with Great Plains Industrial Park. They were getting that Deep Vision project, kind of see what they're doing. And then I've also did have conversations last month with Burns and McDonald, with Hoel and someone from his team. They have an energy sector team looking at kind of sort of like they did when we were looking to bring in the chips foundry. What sort of things in general, if we were trying to bring in a nuclear energy project, would we need? What kind of sites will we have? Even looking up at the north property, could that be a possible site if needed? I haven't heard if they were looking at Coffee County, if they would be looking at land Evergy owns, or if they would be needing land. So I think anything like that we can do just to be ready would be good information.
Do they have a target date that you know of on releasing this information? Because I thought it was going to be in January.
For the site selection? I have not. I need to keep following up with Evergy, but the last I heard, there wasn't anything official.
Okay.
I think there's still probably communications going on that I haven't been part of, obviously, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So while you're here, Jenny, I was gonna bring this up in roundtable, but, contacted by a member of the Gridley Senior Citizens Houses, I don't know if they're an association or how it's actually ran,
Mhm.
but they have 11 houses in Gridley that are very low rent, that they rent to senior citizens. And when they have a turnover, which they've had several lately, typically they go in and they repaint and they put in new carpet or anything that needs refurbished at the time. So at this point, they've had some turnover and they have one or two more that they think may be coming in the very near future. And they're looking for some source to try to replenish their funds. They know any chance of getting a grant of any type? Or,
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
you know, and they may be talking to us, I think, in the near future here
Okay.
to ask if we can help them a little
Yeah,
bit. 'Cause-
and I can't remember who, I did talk to somebody a few months ago from that group. Can't remember off the top of my
May
head.
have been Fred Gertson possibly.
I think so,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think
Yeah.
that sounds right. And I sent them a couple of resources I thought might be helpful for grants, like maybe looking like Emporia Community Foundation, Search Coffee County. There's a few grants that they might be eligible for. But I'll circle back with them and make sure that
Okay.
they,
And I think
Okay.
they've done that. I mean, they've contacted people
okay.
you recommended, I believe.
Okay,
Would
I'm
he-
happy to keep
I'm
working.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Would ECAN or HUD, I mean, ECAN, would there be any help there from that?
Possibility, and I can check with them if they would put it back on my list to kind of look at again. I think before I kind of sent them some resources and then maybe I didn't hear anything back, so
Yeah.
it just went down my
Well,
list.
yeah, I understand. I think, yeah, and I think they followed through with that, to my
Okay, good.
understanding, but yeah, they're just concerned that.
Yeah, so I'll
as soon
check
as-
in again, because that is important, and
Yeah.
that's a great resource for that
Oh,
community.
it's really been
I'm sure,
really helpful to a lot of people that are really on a fixed budget, you know.
yes.
Would that be something that the housing authority would have anything to?
I think they, and I did kind of loop Rhonda in
Okay,
on that. I think she has also maybe had some conversations with
Okay.
them, but again, like, yeah, if there's some grant funding that can help them write something or, something like that, since obviously it's for seniors and lower income, and it's
Right.
something that,
And I mentioned that to him, that might be a possibility further down the line.
yeah, for sure.
So,
And thank you for mentioning that. I'll
okay,
put it
okay.
back up higher on my list.
That's okay. I was gonna do it at round table, but I thought,
Yeah,
well, maybe I'd
appreciate that.
mention it to you while you're here. So,
Well, thank you.
Anything else for Gina?
Today? All right, I'll be here all week if you need me.
Right. Thanks.
thank you very much.
Heidi, Planning and Zoning Administrator Heidi Harris, request for proposals for Coffee County Airport project.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So, I've been working with a small committee, Mike, Jenny, me, and Carl. We've been talking about wanting to flat the airport in regards to be able to entice businesses to come. Obviously, so we just take one, take it down and pass it down. Russ had done up this proposal, for us on our behalf. So if there's dates in there or stuff, this is his recommendation on what he's done in the past for these kind of projects. It takes about this long from start to finish, and finish actually would be having it platted officially with finishing out with you guys to do any dedications or stuff like that. So if you guys would like to proceed forward, this is what I would propose. Yes, it is a big area, but we figured we'd probably do it in phases. So, phase one, we kind of have a proposed layout, but I didn't want them to get bogged down with saying what we were looking at. I want them to show us the whole area and give us a proposal on the whole area. And then we can give them, once we select who we'd like to have, then give them, this is what we'd like you to focus on. That is our first, go around, and then if we want another go around, phase two, then we'd have the opportunity to have phase two as well, which would be the remainder of what would be left over.
So this would be this whole area here on the back here.
It would be all of the area in red. So,
Eventually, it'll be the
yeah,
whole area.
so basically if you just look out Canfield and that area all between.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize where we're at, I just,
We're gonna cut it up in phases. Try
okay,
to fill phase one up and then.
that's what I
go to
figured.
Phase two.
Yeah,
would be here. phase two would be back here.
or even a portion of this
Oh, even
red
portion,
one, I think.
okay.
Do the, up along the highway here first, where we're putting the new
Okay.
road in.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, we're gonna utilize the services of that road.
Okay.
So I'm asking today if I could get a motion to be able to proceed with, request for proposals.
I would
Okay.
move to authorize and direct planning and zoning administrator to advertise for a request for proposal for the Coffee County Airport plating.
A second.
Okay, Abendroth made a motion, seconded by McCurry, to direct, planning and zoning administrator to advertise for our RFPs for the Coffee County Airport plating. Any other discussion on that?
So would we need to specify what portion we want to do or anything, or?
I would propose just having them look at the whole area right now, and
I see.
then when we select whoever it is, then I can give them the map that we're looking at. I'll bring that when we come back to
I
selection,
mean, I just-
to show you what we were looking at. That way we get our phases, because if we give them what we're looking at now, they may not look at the rest of it, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
And by keeping it in phases, if we do find someone who doesn't, we don't wanna use them for the phase two, it limits our, instead of giving them the whole thing, we can be selective.
Okay, that was my question. I
Or
just
they
didn't
may
know
not
how
be
to
operating the
need to
next time we do
proceed.
phase two either, so then
Correct.
might not be able to use the same company.
Yeah, or what needed to be in this motion, that was all I was asking.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0.
So my next question would be on the selection committee, just when we bring it back to all you guys to decide who you want, and Russ and I can ask some questions and some guidance on how to pick the company.
I would say get your proposals and then bring it back and we'll form a little committee like we just did and review them.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for doing it.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next up. Information Technology Director, Brad. All right.
There are two things. One of them came up just, last week. I got an email. And, pass this out to you guys. All right. The top one is a screenshot of an email I got. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there. Yeah, we've been fighting our insurance I've been fighting it personally for 2 months, or 2 years. And I got an email that my credit report took a hit. You know, 120, what did I say there, 124 points is what my credit report went down in 1 week, because a $192 bill from Stormont Vale that our insurance didn't want to pay, hadn't been able to pay for the last 2 years, hit my credit report. And the little
Is this
two.
something Casey needs to be in on, since she's?
No, it's the insurance. You know, they were up here a month ago or whatever it was, saying everything's great, everything's fine. It's not.
Did you present this to them on that day?
Yes. I've got a list of how many times I've talked to them over the last few months.
Many times.
Many times, and actually last time Thursday, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I called them when I got this. And I've been keeping track of names too of people I talked to. I got a hold of one person I talked to 3 or 4 times. And they said, well, she can't do anything. She's, answering the phone, and she'll have to send this up to my supervisor. All right, well, we'll get back with you. She gets back on the phone and says, my supervisor, we'll have to call you back. We'll call you back within 48 hours.
Nothing yet?
I told her, I've talked to you specifically 4 times, and you've never called me back. Every time I get this same thing, you call me back within 48 hours. This time they actually called me back. I think I expressed I was annoyed enough. They've asked for more paperwork. They've got it a dozen times,
and that's where we're at. I'm still, this is real money we're talking about. If I'd have bought a car 2 weeks ago, it'd cost me, this amount of money. I buy it now, it could cost me up to $10,000 more.
Just based upon credit
Just
score.
based upon the credit score.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to bring that to your attention because they sat up here and said everything was great. I'm saying it's not.
Can we get them back up on Zoom?
We don't have to do it today,
Well, but I mean,
yeah,
for like
sometime,
Monday,
yeah,
and see what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah, let's get this taken care of for you.
Okay, they said they will.
You've been dealing with them too, I think? Or-
I didn't know anything about this,
Yeah.
but
It's been
Well-
going on.
we'll, get Joe on the phone.
Okay. And like I said, they actually did call me back and sounded like, again, like they would take care of it, but, we'll see. And the other thing, I want to have a 10-minute executive session for non-elected personnel for job performance.
The official crown.
Do I have to? I don't even know how to use it.
Okay, I'd make a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Information Technology Director Brad Scheidmeier, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss matters of non-elected personnel regarding job performance under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319, B1, to resume in the county commission chambers following that meeting.
So moved.
I made the motion.
Second.
Todd Barker seconded. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. I guess we'll go in at 10:28 for 10 minutes and return here. Okay, we're back in regular session and no action taken following that executive session. Next on the agenda, I guess Ryan, Road and Bridge, Lieutenant Ryan Durst.
There's a couple things coming up. We discussed a little bit about the laydown yard that we're looking at for the storing some materials out there. So there's some zoning for a special use permit that they're gonna start working on, the landowner. And so I was talking with Heidi, and so I just got a motion here just to waive the zoning fees, for that permit that they're pursuing out there for us.
Okay, I have a motion here to waive any zoning fees associated with the project for the material storage site located in the southwest quarter of Section 20, Township 21, Range 17.
So moved. I'll move. Burrow second.
Okay, Avendroth moved, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0.
All right, thank you. And then I would also like to request a 10-minute executive session for the board, myself, and Wade, for non-elected personnel, job performance.
Okay, I will move to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Road and Bridge Superintendent Ryan Durst, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss matters of non-elected personnel regarding job performance under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319, 1 to resume in the county commission chambers at the conclusion of that executive session. I'll second that. Okay, Peterson moved, seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0, and we will go into executive session at 10:43 for 10 minutes.
How you doing? How's it going?
Right, we're back in session and no action taken after that executive session.
That was all, a couple quick things I had for today. Appreciate you squeezing me in.
All right.
All right, you guys have a good week.
Right.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay. And we have, Amber.
Nope.
No? No Amber.
Are you just hiding?
I'm waiting for your payroll discussion.
Oh, okay.
Just a bystander.
No.
Yeah.
I just went blank.
Did you get those pictures,
Well, just
I do, and, I gave them
give you
to
an idea of what we're doing.
Anita, and then I forgot to grab them, so I'm actually, seeing if someone will bring them over to me.
You need a document.
That's the ones that you can find. Right. We'll have legal restrictions on all.
How's construction doing?
Yeah.
We've done it before. I've done it in the hospital. YouTube system. It's going good. Kind of give an update.
Glad to make it happen.
Finished up with demo, or primarily finished up with demo, the big part last week. We still have to come back and do a few things that are at the tie-in side. We gotta cut a doorway into the courtroom. Waiting on, I believe, well, we're waiting on our door frame. We wanna cut it in and put it in all at the same time, so we're trying to minimize our footprint there. I think there's a time around mid-February when the judges are at a conference or off or something that I think it's gonna fit in pretty well to get in there and not interrupt. It would be a big interruption. The demo's going good. I sent Wade some pictures. He'll be showing that you can see where things are gonna be. You can see the size of the courtroom. You can see where some offices are gonna be. It's in the right spots. You can see from the outer wall to the door of district court. It's pretty interesting to see from one side of the building to the other now. It was pretty cut up, but pretty open. Wade and Sheriff walked through last Tuesday or Wednesday. Hopefully satisfying to see.
It's the courtroom, the small courtroom, if you've been in the current small, well, I guess the old magistrate courtroom, not much bigger than this room, and you're holding two separate dockets at the same time, and it just was not very user-friendly. The new courtroom will be very user-friendly. We'll have the adequate space to have views where the public can sit in the back, and as their case is being called, can go up to the table and have their case heard to the point where if we need to have a six-person jury trial, we can hold it in that small courtroom. As I've stated previously, we are holding court at times 4 days a week right now. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays, we just have overflow and a number of a number of cases that require spreading it out, and the reason why is even still on Wednesday, for example, we'll use last Wednesday, we spread out court, and we still had court ran until 5:30, 5:45 on Wednesday night, and if we didn't decompress some of the docket, there were times when we were there until 6:30 at night, and that's that's unacceptable, that shouldn't happen. So, spreading it out, setting contested hearings, I don't like doing it on Fridays, but at times to accommodate and deal with people who are in custody, we're setting contested evidentiary hearings on Fridays. It's just the way we have to deal with it. So the small courtroom will help deal with that, because right now, Judge Wine has his Wednesday docket set up downstairs in the conference rooms, and it's sort of a hodgepodge makeshift courtroom, and it's fine for now, but it's not the ideal setting to hold a docket full court, because we have our large docket on Wednesdays with Judge Reynolds, and then Judge Wine has his domestic docket going at the same time. So, if you run into any hiccups, issues, I know there was an issue where Amber had dealt with some things falling through.
I was wrong.
Yes, they tore out a wall and found a abandoned chase, small hole in the floor that they found when they tore out a wall and a small piece, or the brick, they put a brick in there to stuff it, or to hold, and the brick got knocked loose and fell down. We found that. The windows in the secure corridor will be, I wrote a question on that though, they're just regular non-secure windows. We're gonna end up probably covering them up with sheetrock, painting them black and covering them up. I have to look back. We've had a few, take out a couple extra walls and ceilings that we couldn't get access through, or stuff like that. As of now, I don't know that there's been, they're digging currently for the, there's a storm line that is currently right in the middle of the courtroom, as you can see in that top picture there. Or catches the roof drains, it would be right in the middle of the courtroom. They're taking that out, and it goes underground, so we sawed out the concrete, would have been in front of the jail cells, and they dug down where they have to tie in. I think they're about 4 foot deep in a small hole currently, but just nothing too crazy yet, I don't believe. That one is, I believe, in the, what would have been around Angie Straughter's office, looking towards what will be the front of the courtroom, I believe, if I remember right. We got the opening cut in last week. A couple pictures show that. A couple pictures, I believe, showed the secure corridor, the jury room, I believe, and I think the judge, one of the judge's chambers, kind of looking, if I remember correct.
One of the reasons why these pictures are being shown, and have asked Cole to come up, is Phase 2 PAYAP 1 is coming soon, and you need to know what that ties to, and having these pictures to be able to see the work that's been done. I mean, it's amazing to go in there and know what it looked like before and know see what it looks like now. They've been working, what, 410s?
Yes, yep. Figured that was the best schedule. We've lost a little, not lost days, but with the holidays, it kind of threw us a wrench into your week, especially with guys traveling. So we picked up, they worked Monday through Wednesdays those weeks, and took off holiday. It was a best fit for our schedule, but they were able to get in and do some pretty good demo. Like I said, for the most part, the demo guys are done, minus a few miscellaneous cutting holes in and things that tie in, or that get to the public side, so we put that off. But they're doing the rough in, underground rough in, and then plan to start putting in walls next month.
If you get a chance to go over and take a look for the areas that are not being demoed, which would include a number of jail cells, ideally those would be converted into storage of some sort. In what we call the vault right now, I have a number of boxes. Instead of moving those to my current office, which would be stacked up along walls, my suggestion would be we move those into one of the empty cells so I can have that. I know Amber had talked about having the ability to she moves things in and out for, emergency management purposes and having the ability to store things, there as well, because she brings things in and having the ability to access that area. I don't want to speak for you, but that's been a
This is
conversation.
the end result of everything that's been done, I mean,
So far.
yeah, right.
Yep, that's roughly standing in about where Angie Strother's
Right.
office is. Sheriff's office was, right over here,
Okay.
and then that would be, that's essentially the courtroom.
Okay.
Hey Wade, currently in those jail cells, is there, and Cole, you may know this too, is there, fire sprinklers?
No.
Okay, good, because you don't want your documents with fire sprinklers right over them, because we dealt with that downstairs.
There's so much sprinklers in a small part of this building, it's kinda weird, but
Yeah, I know.
I found that out.
Even less now, so, yeah.
But that was a big question, Mark, I had coming into this. Where, yeah.
Speaking of fire sprinklers, this may be a good time to bring up the, sort of the discussion we've had behind the scenes regarding, existing panels and there's no issue with the panels for the existing building, but and correct me if I'm wrong if I say this the wrong way, in review and having whoever the provider is come and check out the system to see that it's communicating with the new building, we've discovered that the system has some age on it and the parts and replacement parts are not available to deal with the existing system. So there's no issue unless something goes down. And then if you have to do something to the existing panels, you're gonna have to potentially, you had mentioned we could order parts from eBay.
Yes.
And have a patch, but at some point in time, that will need to be addressed.
Correct.
If it's not broke, don't try to fix it, but you also don't want to deal with a situation where something goes wrong at a catastrophic level and then you don't have a remedy. Is that a fair way of saying that?
So essentially, we were shutting off the alarms for the jail portion of the building, and in that, we found that it's running, so we added the panel in phase one to monitor in dispatch, a remote panel from the panel downstairs, the original panel, and in that, we found that it is tied to a secondary, there's two terminals, I believe is the way he put it, two terminals, and we're on the secondary currently. The original was no good, so we're on secondary terminal. If for some reason the secondary terminal would report terminal, however, whatever verbiage he used, if that secondary would fail, essentially that panel is obsolete. He did say that you could potentially order it off eBay, is what he used for an example. They just couldn't sell it and warranty it, or they don't have it to sell and warranty.
It'd be a used piece then.
Essentially,
Or
yes.
on the shelf
Right.
somewhere.
But it Right.
wouldn't be warranted.
Correct, not my bad.
Yeah.
That was Tech Electronics, is who has the manufacturer, I don't know if the manufacturer or sell the panel that you all have. But that was when he was to try to keep alarms from going off in the other building. But it is functioning, it's just on its last leg. It's secondary for.
It's something that will need to be addressed, and, you know, it could be, hopefully you get many more years out of it, but, you need to have a contingency plan in case something goes wrong, because it's the eyes and the ears for this building.
Correct. Okay, anything else? Any additional questions?
I'm curious what kind of cost, say you would have to get it through eBay.
He
Did he
didn't give us anything.
That's
The
fine.
only downfall of it, if you have to replace it, you're replacing everything, is the unfortunate part, even down to, I don't know,
No, I don't
I don't have any.
see any, but
Maybe they're up.
any devices, potentially even, it could be the whole system.
Pretty extensive then.
Unfortunately. Yeah, something we passed on immediately when we found it, but wanted to address, or bring it up so you all were
Sure.
at least in the know.
Sure.
It's not, hopefully it's not an issue, but, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
See
Thanks
a little
for the
bit
information.
more of me for a few more months.
Right.
Good, thank you.
See you.
All right, you ready to move on to salary chart discussion?
So, Monday after the meeting, I've really been struggling with this, you know, whatever the figure might be. I think there's been some readjustments, but spending 90 to 110,000 or whatever to accomplish this. And I think the 15 steps, I think would, in my mind, would be beneficial. So I'd been thinking of how can we accomplish this without spending that money. My first thought was that, well, everybody stays at their present salary, and then that would be readjusted the following year. But, so I went in the hall after the meeting, and Steve happened to come back out of the restroom, and I was telling my concerns to him. And so I said, how would this work? How could this be made to work in the chart? So we said, well, let's go ask Angie, because obviously she understands it, and I'll speak for myself, but myself, or we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
So there didn't seem to be any way to make that work, but something that we did come up that might be a possibility was we go ahead and change to the 15 steps, whatever that dollar figure is that it takes. You know, we can't back anybody up, so whatever that dollar figure takes to make that happen, like we were talking about, going to the 15 steps. But then we take the figure of what our step for the year would be, we deduct that amount from it, and everybody gets a % raise balance of that money. So we'd be able to accomplish the 15 steps and spend the same amount of money as one step is going to cost us for the year. That would, and I think Angie did some more figuring on it. That'd be roughly like 10 or 12 cents. Is that right, Angie?
Yeah, I'm printing it off for you guys. So if you were, like you guys discussed, you wanted to not go over what, if people took a step. So I did have a couple typos on the old sheet, and so I fixed those. So the cost of moving to the new chart would be $83,116.80 roughly. Cost of stepping on the old chart is $118,331. So the difference of that divided out by the 147 employees would be 12 cents per hour.
And then in April, there wouldn't be a step. This would be,
We'd just be looking at COLA.
we'd just be looking at COLA.
And it's just an idea.
It's just an idea.
I'm just really struggling with spending. I think the 15 steps, because there'd be some people obviously are going to get a bigger raise than others, because some people are getting changed a nickel and some people are getting changed 15 cents. But overall, all employees would benefit in the long run by speeding up the process of them getting to the top pay. Or that's how I view it.
Thank you.
So in this right-hand column, you can see that, you know, not everybody's gonna get the same difference by going to the 15 step, but I just can't see any way to make that equal for everyone.
And that's impossible.
But then everyone would be looking at getting a raise, and we'd all be looking at accelerating their pay scale, their advancement, I guess, however the best way to put it. And it's just an idea, guys, because I'm just really struggling with spending the extra money. I mean, if we weren't trying to work so tight on our budget, it wouldn't bother me, but we're trying to scrutinize everything we can here.
So you're saying move to the 15-step chart, and everybody be placed there, nobody'd lose any money, you'd still go to whatever step.
Everybody
Whatever
would.
step, you'd either get the same amount of money, or you get a little bit more because you're moved to a
Yeah.
similar step.
Right, they're all gonna move ahead slightly because of that, and some more than others.
Some will stay the same, but if you did the 12 cents per employee per hour, then
But then,
at least they get that. if they-
yeah, let me make sure I get this right, but if we move them to the 15th step, then there'd be a COLA after that move.
Yes.
And then in April, where there would be a step, you're saying don't do the step, but take the amount that would be spent there, divided amongst all the employees.
That's right, it would end up being about 12 cents per hour.
Because
It'd be 118,331 is gonna be the cost of the step. And if we subtract the 83,116 that it's gonna take to implement the 15-year steps, then the balance of that would equal 12 cents an hour, and the cost to us for this year would be the same as giving them a step
in April.
in April.
You mentioned the percentage in April. What if we just took that amount and made it across the board?
Yeah,
That's,
I mean, 12 cents an hour
Yeah,
as far as this portion of it, but then
okay.
what we do.
So that's what you're looking
do
at.
on, yeah, what we do on COLA.
we do COLA. by the
Historically,
January.
we've been alternating back and forth. I'm not saying that's what we have to do, but historically, we went from percentage to dollars
Yeah.
to try to make that more fair possibly to the people on the bottom end of the scale, but also protect the people on the upper end of the scale by doing percentage every other year too. I'm not saying that's what we have to do or anything, that's kind of separate from this, but
Has anybody looked into, in the future, with shortening up from 20 some steps to 15? What happens when we have everybody maxed out,
And that, Todd, that,
all at the same time before retirement?
I was looking at possible solutions when you go to the 15th step, and one thing I saw, and I don't know if it's good or bad or whatever, but like through years 1 through 7, you could advance one step per year, and then beyond 7 years, 2 years before you advance a step. That's one way to
Just slow down
a little bit.
15.
Or you just do the 1 year and then do the cost or longevity pay.
right.
like, and if it, that's the way it should work. Because once you're topped out, then you still have your longevity and you still have your COLA, but as far as, and in the last couple of years, I think we've done something.
I think we had reasons for it, but we moved some people above that, and to me, we've got a top pay for a job, And, you know, I've heard the comment that, well, then at 15 years, you don't have any advancement left. Well, I'd rather get to my top pay sooner than I would wait 22 years to get there. I mean, I don't view that as a downside. Then if you want to advance, then you maybe look at another position within the county that pays more, or you know, I mean, I don't think getting somebody to their top pay quicker is a disadvantage. I don't see how that anybody can feel that way. That's, I mean, in my mind, we're trying to do this to benefit the employees, because that's what we hear a lot of people asking for.
Especially on the front end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But once they top out, then they would be topped out, but they would still be eligible for COLA and, of course,
Longevity.
and their longevity. That would be, it's not like they're being left out. Yes, they're out of steps, but they would still incur.
They're still gonna get some advancement there.
They're still going to get some advancement just from the cost of living.
I mean, my biggest motivation is, above all, and I've said numerous times, the value of our employees, but we've, you know, I would hate to wait that long to be at the top of my chart, you know. That sounds like a long time, especially if you're, you know, if you have to hire on a little later age, you know, to get topped out in your department. I think 22 is a long time.
Or we can keep it.
I'm really having trouble saying that we're gonna spend an extra $100,000 or whatever it is to make this happen. I just can't. I'm really having trouble justifying that.
That's one way to help soften the blow, I mean, dollar-wise.
Yeah,
overall.
we'd keep our costs the same this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, things are gonna accelerate a little bit after that, you know. But we wouldn't be incurring the cost to make this happen. I'm sorry that everybody could dropping this on everybody, but you know, we can't discuss everything without being in a meeting, so, you know, there's not much other way to approach it, guys, so I'm sorry. It's just an idea that got brought up out of that discussion, so.
That makes, I think I understand that for the first year, so. But Angie, when do you need this week, next week latest?
We'd actually start processing payroll next week, so it depends on when you wanna make it effective. If you wanna wait to the next pay period, which, I mean, you could, actually, it depends on how you wanna do it. If we're gonna just do the cost of living in this month, which we haven't got anything, nothing's out there yet for the consumer price index. So if you wanna do that for this month, if we can get it in by next Tuesday, we can do a flat across the board, whatever you decide, but, and then everyone can step in April onto the new chart with your 12 cents or whatever you're thinking. But it depends on what you wanna do.
Sure.
I don't know what you wanna do.
So what you're saying is we could wait, whatever, whatever the decision would be, April, we could do it in April as next step, I mean, as that,
I mean, you
that-
could.
no, I'm just asking.
Yeah, unless you're wanting to do it this month, well, you'd have to, if we can't start inputting it this week, I don't think I wanna put all that on Casey. I mean, I can help her, but then she's in payroll and I'm in payroll and we're making changes and I don't wanna,
Be better to at least wait till February then if we didn't make
I mean,
a
we could make it
decision.
effective the January 16th pay date, beginning of that pay period. We could do that.
Well,
But that's all up to you.
like I say, this all getting dumped on those guys, so I know,
Yeah.
I don't wanna keep kicking the can down the road,
I agree.
but, I'll make sure we have all the discussion we need to have too.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it needs to be,
Yeah.
this was just another way of,
Options.
another set of options, because if we do this, I don't feel like we can then go into April and do another step, because you're just tacking on another 118,000 plus,
Yeah, I'm really having trouble with that.
and I would really have trouble with that, yeah. But that's enough said.
I mean, that option it sounds good to me. I think I follow with it.
We basically get them changed and everybody get the balance of that money would go towards roughly a 12-cent raise, and then there'd be no staff, and we wouldn't incur any additional expenses this year. That's,
But it wouldn't hurt to wait for another week or two, I don't think. Just
no. I mean, like I say, I'd like you guys to have a chance to, if you feel that's needed, to have to think about it more, you know.
Usually if they wait till the January 16th, payroll time, would that include not only their new step total, but also the cost of living at the same time?
It should include the cost of living too.
So, I mean, that would be a pretty big.
Because if you guys follow what you
You
started.
said January the 16th, you mean February the
It would be, February's paycheck, but it would start
Oh, I see.
January
Okay,
16th and go to
okay.
February
Yes,
16th.
yes.
So I take it the bulk of the work's gonna be trying to get everybody on the new step.
Yes, because that's gonna take time to put in we have to go put in the new grades, the new steps, the new dollar amounts. So it's pretty in-depth on what we're gonna do when we change charts. And then double checking and making sure everything's accurate. But applying, like if you say, so I just handed out your cost of living adjustment sheets that you guys have been doing for years. And back in 2021, there was discussion on doing cents per hour or percentage per hour. And there was a lot of discussion about that, and then through that discussion, years ago, they used to do cents per hour only, and that created more of a compression between your salary people and your hourly people. And so then it was discussed doing a percentage one year, cents per hour another year. And so we started alternating then, well, I guess we started 2022, 2023, and so we've been alternating. So this year would be a cents per hour if you choose to stay that way. So whatever the cost of living number comes in at, and we figure out what that is per hour, we would add the 12 cents to it, I guess. However you want to handle that, if that's what you still want to do. Or...
That's no big deal when we do it, I guess, that'd be fine.
So if it was like, hypothetically, if it was around 3.2% like 2023, that was 80 cents, so you'd add 12 cents to it, so it would be 92 cents.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe it's going to come in like at the 2.6 to 2.8, something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
they haven't said it yet.
Yeah.
I guess to me, we're just trying not to spend any more than we were planning to, I guess, so we wanna move to that 15-step, salary chart, so getting that done early so they can start inputting stuff. I mean, that probably needs to happen, hopefully, maybe today, if everybody's okay with that. We know the COLA's gonna happen, then go across, however we figure to do that, there's gonna be a set dollar amount on that, so that's no big deal. But if we know that the step is going to be, we're not gonna have a step, and we're gonna take that money and recoup the cost, I guess, so there's, what do I wanna say, so we're not gonna have excess costs by making the change to the step.
It'd be equivalent to the step.
It'd be
To
equivalent.
the step.
Yeah, I mean, if we all know we're heading that direction, then to me, we could probably go ahead and approve moving to the 15-step chart. Unless
With this adjustment, are you saying you're going to add the COLA on top of the adjustment or subtract the adjustment from the COLA they're gonna receive?
No, it'd be,
the step.
Just in lieu of a step, it wouldn't have anything to do with the COLA is what my thought was, but, yeah.
because normally you would do your COLA in January, and then in April, then you would do your staff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I didn't include COLA on any of the numbers.
right,
So you
right.
have COLA on top of that
So what
regardless.
this would amount to, Todd, would be moving to the 15-step process, and then adding whatever that number is, 12 cents to each, and that would equal then the cost of April's step.
Okay.
We wouldn't be going over that cost.
Let me back up. Over here, there's the difference on this chart, but you figured that out, that's only 12 cents per individual? Okay, and everybody's getting the 12 cents, not this other.
Yeah, but this is not gonna be equal.
Right.
This part's gonna be jagged because they're moving basically to the next column.
And look, will that satisfy everybody? Probably not. Probably not, but to make this 15-step work,
Everybody's gonna benefit.
everybody's gonna benefit.
Even if they stay the same in here, they're gonna get the 12 cents and they're gonna get changed to 15 steps, which is gonna accelerate them. Or that's my opinion. I mean, I think
And
that's
that's
figuring it the right way. So, I mean, a lot of discussion. We've been in the department head meetings that this is something everybody'd really like to see. That was actually, I think, was even in the wage study that it recommended that we were way
5 years
too
ago
long.
or 6 years ago.
And the wage study said that wasn't how we'd ought to be doing that. I believe that's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There's a 15-step recommendation to begin with.
Because years ago, wasn't it a six-step deal, but it was done every 2 years?
There's A and B that were done A was 6 months originally, and then they changed it to a year. And then B was 1 year, and then you went C, you had to stay 2 years, D, 2 years.
Okay, so it was,
So it was like a 12 year.
9 steps or 12 steps?
It was a 12-year.
12 steps.
12 step.
Yeah.
But later on, probably, that's what I worry about, the acceleration and taxes not keeping up with it, where we really get pinched really hard. Well,
Say that again, Todd. I'm
for the
sorry.
acceleration of salaries going up,
Mhm.
and our taxes don't keep up with it, where we start having to really, really pinch. We're starting to pinch now. We're gonna accelerate that through the course of, say, the next 5 or 6 years. Looking at some of these people, they could be very close to maxing out. Instead of say they're at 15 years to there, and then you got 15 years, and some of them might be already maxed out.
Yeah, so then they wouldn't be changing.
they won't be changing, but those people behind them are gonna
So we'll
accelerate.
speed them up, that's right, and that's, I guess what we're looking at, or as a little bit more of a benefit.
It's a great benefit, but then we're gonna have to deal with
I
the
understand.
taxpayers and things like
I
that,
understand.
and departments when we start having to pinch a little bit more and a little bit more.
That's correct. That is correct.
I mean, I see both sides, trying to work for the people here as being an elected official, but I also see with these guys, I want them to have everything they can.
Well, and that's just, me being an employer myself, I just know how hard it is to hire qualified people, and
To keep
and to keep them, you know, and yes, it is a constant juggling act, and no way I like to see taxes go up, but, you know, we are still considerably cheaper than our surrounding counties around us, and I want us to stay that way, you know. But I don't want us to be in the shape that some of our surrounding counties are, that they can't fill positions either. And you know, the last couple positions we've had open, we've had quite a few people apply for it, but previously, before then, since I've been on here, we've waited months to try to get people to even turn in an application for a job. So I feel like that's changed, you know, over the last 10 years. I mean, I feel like the county is a good opportunity for employment for people, especially if they live here and they don't have to drive here. I mean, I feel like we have good jobs here, but we just want to hire good people too. You know, I agree with you, Todd. It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
You know.
Any other thoughts?
Something we wanna go ahead and move forward with today, at least, and I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about the clerk staff, you know.
Yeah.
Giving them some time to input everything, if we're gonna do it.
I'd be in favor of doing that.
Your change or modification, just because there may be questions by department heads and they can watch this, but the change will, in essence, be considered the April step increase. Like it's gonna substitute, so in April for the hourly employees, there will be no step, this will be the step.
This would be
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Take its place.
And then there may be, for your appointed and elected officials who may be dealing with something separate, because they're not here, that you may have to deal with them separately in April, which is what you normally do.
Right.
I know some, from what I understand, they're dealing with, some compression issues, and you'll need to hear them out and potentially deal with that particular side of things. And then that will be separate from the COLA. I guess the benefit would be the step is being addressed early instead of in April. It's being dealt with now, so the employees would gain that benefit now instead of April, I guess, as a positive. And then on top of that, whatever the COLA is, would also be a part of that as well. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the COLA side, I know it's gone back and forth over the years to a wage and then a percentage, and it doesn't matter to me either way. I just want you to, in your analysis, be aware of what happens around, and I'm fiscally responsible. I look at it through the lens of the people who work for me, and then also from your lens and dealing with the taxpayers. If you don't keep up with the COLA and look at historically what you have and haven't done, others around you are keeping up with it and are routinely adjusting accordingly. I don't know what that looks like and how you deal with it, but for example, I took a screenshot of what Allen County did, just because I happened to see it, and in December, they had a COLA, and for those who made $60,000 and above, or below, they had a 5% COLA, and then anybody who was over 60,000, it was 2.8. Whatever you do, and I'm not saying that's what you do here, I don't think that under the county system actually works, but you can be creative and come up with a resolution that is fair to probably everybody. But my opinion is you have to keep up with COLA, or else others around are gonna start poaching employees in Coffee County because the wages are not distributed accordingly. That's just something to think about.
Okay, back to the 15-step salary chart. Do we want to go ahead and make a motion to adopt the 15-step chart, or move to it, however?
If we were gonna do that, would we need that motion to include based on no step change in April?
Including everything we just discussed. Yeah. We get the wording right on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the direction we want to go, kind of feeling a consensus there.
I'm gonna bring something up that Todd brought up, a time or two ago on, and I'm not trying to be out of line, but you said something about the longevity. Right now, it's based on, after 3 years, it's, $300, is isn't that on longevity after you've been there 3 years?
Correct. 3, 4, and 5 is 300.
And
6, 7, 8 goes to 600.
And then 9,
10, 11,
9, and then
900. Yeah, and it goes up from there every 3.
every 3 years. What would it do as far as financially to keep everybody, grandfather everybody in as is right now? And then on any new hires going to a 5-year, would that
With a 15-step, I think that would
help offset a little bit.
would that, I guess what I'm getting at is, would that offset some of the cost incurred?
It'd have to help a little.
And I'm just,
Anything we do would help.
because when you said that, I thought, that's not a bad idea. But if we went to the 15-step, and then everybody that's on the longevity right now would stay the same.
We can't take that.
We can't take, but any new hire, then it would be on a 5-year, which really isn't that long. If you're there 5 years, that's a good thing.
Makes it
I'm just
short longevity.
Yeah.
15.
I like that idea.
Well, and you brought it up, I don't know, it's been a couple of weeks ago when this was under discussion, and it's something is that something that we want to take a look at to
I would, we
to help?
at least discuss it, because with going to a new 15-step, that changes the whole playing ground. So that should be something we should discuss. If it stays the same, so be it, but at least discuss it.
I agree.
And I like the idea of Steve grandfathering it.
Well, and again, you brought that up also, Todd, and because that's the only fair way to be with folks is, we can't change
They
the
were
way.
hired on that.
They were hired
So
on.
if they're presently an employee,
But any,
You've given that commitment when they came to work
right,
here.
but stepping into the new, if we adopted this, then going forward, we could do a 5-year before we did the longevity. I mean, I realize there has to be some discussion on
Yeah,
that.
and maybe rearrange there might be some rearrangement for those other numbers too, when you step up.
Right.
Dollar figures possibly.
It'll be more of a clerical problem with these guys who's coming in new and how to keep it there, but I think it's feasible.
That's something that could be done, you think, without huge headache.
Yeah, I mean, we can use their years of service or something.
I'm not trying to
Adjust it
complicate,
somehow.
I'm not trying to complicate anything, but it was just, if it's a way to
Help offset a little cost
help
here.
offset, I still like the 15-step thing. I just think, would I die for it? No, not necessarily, but I guess I am for it. Well, I don't mean I guess, I know I'm for it.
On the wording there on the, said move to adopt the 15-step chart, and I was gonna say, each employee will be placed on the nearest higher step on the new 15-step scale,
Nearest, what'd you say?
nearest higher step.
Yeah, is the way that read.
Okay.
That is equal, that on the new 15-step scale, that is equal to or greater than their current salary. Just to make it clear that nobody's gonna lose any money.
Their current hourly rate,
Yeah, current wage or.
current wage, okay.
I mean, does that sound okay?
Visually suited.
Do you want the last part, cost of living will be added, and there will not be any additional steps in April? Or do you want that removed?
That's part of the motion, that we're not doing any more steps
In April.
in April. I think we'd intend to do a cost of living, but
Yeah.
we could just say there will not be any additional steps in April and not mention the COLA, but I think that's part of what we're talking about here. So I feel it's fine to leave it in there, you know. That would, you know, be something that wouldn't necessarily have to be in there.
Because we'll do the COLA in January. Isn't that's normal?
Well, probably they'll come out with it maybe today or tomorrow.
This week sometime.
So by Tuesday, because we're closed Monday next week for holiday, so by Tuesday next week, we surely could figure out if you wanna do percentage or cents per hour.
Sure.
And then we can go put that in our system in a one-time spot that will get everybody. It's just this is gonna take more than a one-time thing.
You can do this ahead of the cost of living.
Yeah.
So. Everybody okay with that motion, or do we need to tweak it anymore?
You might wanna add that this is for hourly employees, because it doesn't say, I think that's who's on the chart, but
Oh,
if later on down the road, something happens in April and you have to deal with some compression issues for either elected or appointed officials,
Yeah.
this is specific to hourly.
Yeah, there'd be a motion, that this way it's spelled, that way it's spelled out, yeah.
Do you want me just to add each hourly employee, or do you want me to put this affects hourly employees only?
I think you have it, you just added the word hourly employees.
I think that'd be.
And then your 15-step chart, somebody wanted to come back and reference what 15-step chart you're referencing, is there a date that's on that, so that it,
Could we just say 2026?
well, is it this document, or is it that chart right there? I just think you need to, there have been several charts that have been prepared.
No, on that chart, if she changes that and just say adopted,
Yeah.
whatever today's date is.
That way, if a department head or the public or whoever wants to come back and.
So when you do this, somewhere on there, put adopted January 12th, 2026.
I will, but do you want me to change, instead of it saying 2025 salary chart, change to 15 steps, I could just put 2026 salary chart, dash 15 steps?
Oh, yeah. Maybe, approved and adopted,
Okay.
whatever day it is. And if that's the chart, I do have, and I have it up on my computer, I didn't print it off. I don't remember when it was in June. Legal intern 1 and legal intern 2 were added to that chart, and I don't know if they're on there. One was in category 45, the other one in 30 or 30, I think it was in 30, and I didn't see them on what's been approved, so that was gonna be something I was gonna bring up.
And what was that, Wade?
Legal intern 1 and legal intern 2, those are, I brought those before the board, my table of organization reflects those changes. It was approved and adopted, I think, back in July. They were placed into the pay schedule. And those are for people who are in law school. And one distinguishes the other based on their time and if they have a temporary license to practice law, which that would be your legal intern to somebody else who's in law school. But my point is they were added to the chart. I just want to make sure if the chart's adopted, you don't have to come back and revise it again later.
Okay, so motion as it stands would be
Hold on a second,
to hold a second.
just a second, please.
That would be the present motion.
Hold on a second.
So I'm going to name it the 2026 salary chart dash 15 steps. Okay, and we'll adopt it as of today. Was it legal administrative specialist, Wade?
No, they were legal
intern, okay.
Legal intern 1 and legal intern 2. I went back through and looked at the minutes, and I have it up on my computer in the office.
Oh, and nearest higher step would be HIGHER.
Where am I at?
That second line.
Oh, higher.
I saw that before and then I forgot
Sorry.
to bring it up after we got done.
It is a salary, so higher would make sense.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing that might need to be included is what pay period this is being applied to. So,
Okay, good point.
And we put April, at the last second, we put 2026 behind April. So they know it's this year.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
Because I'm assuming in April next year it'll be effective.
Okay. what was the other thing?
The pay period,
Oh, yeah.
where it applies to them. I think you're doing it now, so it'll apply to the current pay period.
I don't know if I should put the pay date, or if I should put or if I just put the January 30th payroll. Because that's gonna be the pay date. And we'll go back and make it
Right.
be this pay period, payroll, whatever.
Okay, ready to give this a whirl? We're still whirling it. Okay, I'll move to adopt the 2026 salary chart - 15 steps. Effective in the January 30th, 2026 payroll. Each hourly employee will be placed on the nearest higher step on the new 15-step scale that is equal to or greater than their current wage. Cost of living will be added, and there will not be any additional steps in April 2026.
You made that motion.
Yes.
I'll second that.
So,
Any discussion?
I hate to, so we're not saying anything in here about the other 12 cents or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, and we
I
can
mean,
have,
that's our intention, but I don't know that maybe it doesn't have to be in this motion, I don't know. I mean, it's not 12 cents
It's
maybe.
in the new
Yeah.
26 salary schedule, where you have that 12 cents, wouldn't you, or is it not in there?
Well,
It's not in there yet.
that we would be, whatever that figure is the,
Okay,
is the balance of the two figures.
Right.
so
But-
how about,
can we add that at the same time as the code?
well, I'm just thinking, I need to add that first, because I gotta add the grades, the steps, the dollar amount. So if I go ahead and add the 12 cents
Okay.
to each of these amounts, then next week, when you do your across the board,
Okay.
that'll
Just
apply.
make it effective with your COLA adjustment.
Yeah,
And then you'll have an exact number that you can do with to equal what would have been in April.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we probably need to put that in here then, so that's done, so you can calculate your.
Does that look okay?
If you're pretty sure that's what that figure is.
I'm pretty sure, I mean,
So would what wage just added affect that?
no, because we already have we already have one of the employees. Do you have two people yet?
I'm sorry?
And they're not full-time. This will change a little with, you're gonna have some temporary people, you're gonna have summertime help. So this is just on our full-time employees.
Okay.
So,
Probably
there's a
close.
lot of moving parts.
As close as we can get then, probably.
And is the 12 cents, I mean, that's what it will be, correct, or do you need?
Yeah, I'm not, what you guys.
If you
kind
think
of-
that's gonna be really close,
It's-
I'm okay with doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you guys had me put together.
Right.
So, based on all the employees that are full-time right now, hourly, I exported out of our system. I did the comparison like you asked me
Right.
to. And so, that 83,000 would be placing everyone on the new chart.
On the new chart, on 18,331 would be based on the
If they
April.
took a step in April. So the difference is that 35,000, and that divided by
Oh,
the
147.
147 hourly only, divided by 2080 is 12 cents per employee per hour.
Okay.
What if we put, I mean, you have including a 12 cents increase per hour. What if we made a new sentence there, current wage period, and put in lieu of step increase in April 2026, 12 cents per hour will be added to each step.
That might help explain it on down the line if we have to refer back to the.
And then say cost of living will be added.
No, not wages and
Or-
steps in April. Do you wanna add?
Are we sure we won't be spending more? I figured it would be to minimize.
Okay,
I just don't know what the figures are.
well, I don't know, I mean, I'm just trying to help give you an explanation on that.
Right. I just don't wanna say it's not gonna go up and then it ends up going up exponentially, 10 or 11,000 or something. Yeah, maybe, I never crunched the numbers that close.
I understand.
How does that look?
Looks good to me. Looks good to me.
So we were having a
Yeah,
discussion, I guess.
Well, gonna have to go back and, get a new modifier.
You wanna say who rescinded that, or?
What's the best way to do that? We have a motion here, and we're amending it. Cleanest way to do that, just be vote on it, nobody vote on it, then just start over with another motion.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I've done that before.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion on this? We'll vote on it, and then in order to get the new motion, we'll just vote against this.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of this motion, say aye. Anybody opposed? Same sign? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll start over. Okay, I'll move to adopt the 2026 salary chart, 15 steps, effective in the January 30th, 2026 payroll. Each hourly employee will be placed on the nearest higher step on the new 15-step scale that is equal to or greater than their current wage. In lieu of a step increase in April 2026, a 12 cents per hour, a 12 cents increase per hour will be added to each step. Cost of living will be added, and there will not be any additional steps in April 2026. This will help ensure the county minimizes costs of implementing a new salary chart.
I'd second that.
Can I say something real quick? Is this going to confuse people? Are they gonna think we're gonna give an additional 12 cents in April? Or are we gonna say in lieu of step increases in April, a 12-cent increase per hour will be added to each step? I mean, you're saying there won't be any additional steps in April, but the way this,
Well, there will not be any steps in April. Is that right?
Any step increases.
Step increases, yeah.
I think.
Because at their current level for the fiscal year.
I think we've got it explained.
Yeah,
I'm satisfied.
yeah, Thompson seconded. Peterson moved, Thompson seconded. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? It passes 5-0. Okay, are we done with that?
I have a question on that.
Yeah.
So, if I have an employee that's pay grade 40, step 5, under what you just wrote, are they staying on step 5 or are they moving to step 6? What is it saying?
what is their title?
Oh, just any of them.
Or
I've just looked
which
in general.
grade, like 30, 35?
40. So like 40, step 5.
40, step 5.
If that person is 40, step 5, under what they just passed, which says something about move to the higher.
So you have to look at the current chart. And
Right,
then-
I have both of them.
Okay, so, what I see on a 40-5, they would normally move to a 6, but they're not moving, so they're gonna step to the new chart, so they would be at a 40, step 4, which would be,
Oh, okay. So people are gonna change, some of these people are gonna change their step backward
yeah,
because it's 15.
but the dollars will be more.
Right, okay. That's what I was confused about. Okay, that makes sense. That, we have to go back and explain this to everybody, so I wanna make sure that I've got it correct. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So it's closest to the dollar amount, not the step
Right,
number.
good.
I guess to clear up confusion, I guess you could make a motion to remove the word higher out of that. Be the nearest step on the
Right.
new 15.
That's what threw me, is it says higher step.
But the intent was that they'd be higher wage. Sent the same or higher, they would not lose wage, so.
They would be moved
I
to.
think just taking that part out would do it, because it's equal
Yeah.
to or greater than the current
Right.
wage.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like that might clear up some confusion.
So you wanna rescind this motion?
So wait, should it rescind it or just have a motion to remove a word from it? We're talking about just removing the word higher on the step, the nearest higher step.
Okay.
Change it to say nearest step, because there may actually be a case where somebody might go
For the same.
backward on a step yet they would still receive the same or more pay.
Okay. That makes sense.
But to clear up confusion, I guess.
Because it might not be the next higher step,
Right.
Right, when you're modifying your prior motion, so you would probably need to amend, either modify or amend. And I think the benefit you have is all here, and then it would be the next item in your minutes that somebody could chronologically follow, so I'd say amend or modify and amend and remove the word, but everything else stays the same, right?
Right.
but then read the motion again and correct it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Now we want to get it right. Okay, so I'm making a motion to amend the previous motion, modify the previous motion.
I mean, modify and amend.
To modify and amend the previous motion. To remove the word higher, and then I can restate the motion. Like that. Then just say the motion will read the same thing except take that word higher out. So each hourly employee will be placed on the nearest step on the new 15-step scale that is equal to or greater than their current wage.
So are you making that motion again?
Yeah.
I want to read the whole thing, or do we need to?
Okay, I move to modify and amend the previous motion to remove the word higher. And the motion will read, I'll say Peterson moved to adopt the 2026 salary chart dash 15 steps effective in the January 30th, 2026 payroll. Each hourly employee will be placed on the nearest step.
We need to eliminate the word hourly. Right?
No,
Higher,
okay.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Each hourly employee, the other H word.
Sorry.
Each hourly employee will be placed on the nearest step on the new 15-step scale that is equal to or greater than their current wage. In lieu of step increases in April 2026, a 12-cent increase per hour will be added to each step. Cost of living will be added, and there will not be any additional step increases in April 2026. This will help ensure the county minimizes costs of implementing a new salary chart. Thompson seconded. Motion passed. So, are you seconding
Yes,
that,
sir.
that motion?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I'll
Any
second.
other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Passes 5-0. I think, we're done with that?
I was H'd out there, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna move to roundtable, I guess. Unless, Tom, do you have anything? Amber, did you ever, on that one vendor invoice, did they ever break that down to you on the mileage?
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
That just popped in my head. For sure.
So in essence, they, forgot to take off the quoted mileage. They quoted us mileage of the higher price in the beginning, and then forgot to take that off and left it on the invoice. But then when you suggested we look at it, and I talked to them, they broke down the mileage as is on that paper, and so it is cheaper. Still expensive, but it is cheaper.
But they're crediting us over $1,000, so.
And like I said, Scott has suggested that possibly, when we have them doing more work like this, that for more installs, that we try to work out a contract price with them, and they stay with that contract price. Because they have done that with some people. We didn't get it in there. We were trying to get the buses done over Christmas break while there was no school in session, so we were kind of in a hurry to get those done, so. Hopefully it won't be that expensive anymore, but it's fine.
Appreciate the follow-up on
Yeah,
that.
thanks for finding that. Like I said, you guys reviewing the bills is a great help to us, because you may see something we don't.
Sure. Kind of a team effort. You go over them first and we try to look at it.
Save money.
Okay. We got some things to sign here also, so.
Thank you.
So I kind of start them going, and then what, I guess I'll start that in over this way, like we usually do, I suppose.
We'll get reorganized before next week.
Trying to figure out what I'm supposed to sign here. Oh, there they are.
All that goes into.
Yeah, that all goes in there, so.
So that we see that final act.
I'm back to this crap. I'm sure this was gonna say.
Oh, there it is, okay.
I figured this. Just send that down there to start down there. Okay, so while we're doing that, Wade, do you have anything
Take
today?
one, pass it down. It's all one packet, so I'm gonna hand them out.
Oh.
Wow. Drop that on your toe.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's one packet, so just pass.
oh, each one of them is a packet.
Yeah.
Oh, no good.
So, what I just handed out is you requested an updated version of what the properties the county owns. That's what's in that packet. And instead of putting it back into these binders, you may want it in a notebook, whatever you want. I decided to scan it out, and if you want it put back in this format, we can do that. It might be easier and,
So you,
here's some.
Remind us if you don't.
The flip through it may be easier.
So we can go through that in our spare time.
Yep, and the 405, 407 OSHA was removed as the appraiser's office received that deed and they took it out of there. So this should be the most current, up-to-date version of what property the county owns. And
Those two ready for signatures?
the credit for getting this done and accomplished and to you, not me, it's Kara May. I asked her if she could do the same thing she did previously, and she took care of it. And if you have time, you need to thank her, because it takes some time to go through and put this together. So she did it and got it back. I thought it'd be 2 or 3 weeks. She had it ready for me on Friday.
Very good.
So yeah,
have anything else?
I do, but I can check it on outside of that.
Of course.
I was looking for it, I just couldn't find it.
Sorry. We're kind of out of order here today.
Okay.
Wade, when I look back in the minutes, I see where they designated a legal intern 2, but it just said to place a legal intern 1 on your table of organization, but it didn't say like salary chart information.
It should have, because that job description was,
Yeah, it said approve the creation of new positions of legal intern 1 and 2, and then it says moved to approve and direct the chairman to approve a revision in addition to the county position and classification chart, table of organization, for the new positions of legal intern 1 and 2. And then it says, up on there, okay, to approve and direct the chairman to approve job description and classification for legal intern 2, 345. And then to authorize to sign the payroll notice for Kayla to legal intern 2. But you think legal intern 1 was supposed to be 35?
also, I'd have to go back and, if I need to,
It was July 14th.
I'd go back.
Just let me know.
Yeah, and it's in the table of organization.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that, I see that, but it does just have step 2.
okay,
Okay, great.
we can go back, I'll go back and see if I can.
Just let me know.
I just wanted to make sure it made it to the
Mhm.
salary chart.
Yeah, I have it. Yes, they're actually,
See if I get a hint.
Okay,
Okay. I just noticed it had a staple in each corner, I just wanted
Yes.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Thought that was probably why, but.
I think other policies are, probably, I don't know who that is, or what that's about, but there's a donation in lieu of flowers or something like that.
For these memorials.
Mhm.
Okay.
This must have been those change orders.
Yeah, the change orders, right.
Period in November 30th is all it says.
Yeah.
still last one.
I think so.
These all still.
Yeah. Oh, that yellow one.
Oh, okay. Everything that's coming from now on, I'll do with that one.
Okay. So that go in the first yellow one and the second yellow one?
This goes in the second yellow one.
That one goes in the first?
No, this all.
It all came out.
It all came.
Both of those came out of this side.
See, I already skipped one. How much was the total on that?
On this one?
Yeah.
558.
Okay, this is something, this goes with that, this whole batch. Not necessarily this, but that.
Total together with
Yeah.
the summary of them?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, 558.74. And then apparently there's one for 77,
Yeah.
97 somewhere.
Somewhere,
And I don't have it here.
oh, right here, I'm sorry.
There you go.
He just wanted to see if you.
Obviously, I didn't know.
Isn't that back there? It's the original.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, we're caught up, I think.
Todd, this is just a breakdown of those, summarized.
Group of matters so small.
Dude, used to it.
Sorry.
You have a chance to say no. Wait, are you going over these today?
No. I think you just, in your free time, if you take a look and identify properties that look out of place than properties you wanna focus on. There's probably 5 or 6 that are out in the middle of nowhere that really don't make sense.
If we can in my mind, some of those small ones, we can relinquish them to, if there's a landowner surrounding them or something, and just clear up a bunch of details, if nothing else. Get a little bit of property on the tax roll, maybe.
They need to, well,
I guess I could have taken this as far as.
I'm talking about this one
Let's be done with it.
I'm not, yeah. Probably shouldn't be. This is good. We better keep going.
That courthouse.
People know the airport. Oh, since I got lines drawn all over it now.
Yeah, we got extra money invested in it now.
Good.
We'll hold on to it.
Planning board.
What is it?
This road closes.
It goes to road viewers, and then you go out and you have a viewing, and then recommendations are made. However, the one you're talking about, if you remember, we were working on getting a legal description.
Right.
And talking with Ryan, I think he's meeting with the applicant to see if there can be some adjustments in where they're wanting to close, because part of where they're wanting to close, there's adjacent landowners that
Right.
may,
That's my understanding.
just if it were a little bit further down, they own that area, and then there may be the need to have, some agreement in writing regarding ingress and egress, because some people utilize that road for, farming purposes. Harvest, I don't know, I know a little bit to be able to talk about it, but I was waiting to hear back on that before we made a decision to move forward.
So we're waiting on, and Ryan on this deal then?
Yeah, I need to follow up with them. He and I had a conversation about that, within the last week or week and a half. Because if there's an adjustment to the application, like if the road closure request is a little bit further to the south, it may not be as much of an issue. It still may be, but you're gonna have, historically, going back through some of the previous road closures you had, it looked like the same three people who were part of that road closure request. Well, one of those individuals is now deceased, so gonna have to find a third name to be a part of that, that would want to be part of that, and then there's certain findings that have to be made, recommendation, and then potentially, in certain cases, there's an analysis regarding potential damages and those types of things. So just making sure it follows what needs to be done. But
So that does come to the county commission
Yes.
and not the planning and zoning first.
yes.
So I know one of the landowners, I'll call it above that, has a concern that they wouldn't have any access to get down there to alleviate drainage problems, because if silt filled up down the line, it could potentially flood their property, so I know we've got opposition to it.
Yeah, I've talked to a landowner also.
Yeah. So I think however the process needs to go, we're gonna have some opposition to it, which I totally understand.
More stuff for it, more stuff.
procedurally it follows the right steps and.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can carry on with roundtable, right? Angie, do you have anything?
No, just the next Monday we're closed for Martin Luther King Day, I think it is, so we'll have y'all regular meeting on Tuesday. And hopefully we'll know what the COLA looks like by then.
Okay. Wade, do you have anything?
All I was gonna discuss was the Ridley Senior Houses, so if that's already been covered, that's all I had today.
Steve?
No, sure. Nothing today.
Mike? Stay louder and Wade quit sending me papers. Other than that, no.
I do not believe I have anything. Todd, do you?
The only thing I have is, I've had several phone calls. We've been trying to keep the gates on the Bailey place shut. They keep getting opened up.
Oh, really?
The one just, south of the ponds and the one on the Olivet Road. There's one that goes back in there and it keeps getting up. And I'm wondering if we ought to lock them up. And then they're not shutting the gate when they're gone on the weekends or whenever going to the house. I've had an individual that stops, he watched the video, and he's stopped and shut them a couple of times, and he's canceled.
You're talking about the gate to the west of, the driveway, that gate?
The one on the pavement.
Pavement, and then the one on,
the gravel, yeah. Okay.
That is something that was another thing that I had on my list that I forgot to write down was, we need to be thinking about getting an advertisement out for, lease for this year for the farmland there. I mean, I assume everybody would like to do that again, and we do have, part of that contract that we've used before does spell out plainly in there that if we sell something, I believe they're only entitled to a refund of that rent, and if we did sell the house, that'd be all grass anyhow, so that'd be very simple. It's not like they would have input costs, except they may give, none of that over there, I don't think would have any fertilizer on it in that area, so I think it'd be pretty simple. So that's probably something we need to, maybe we need to do it now.
Yeah, because the lease is what?
By the time we take bids on it and stuff,
Did we do it this time last year?
roughly this time last year, we were later than I would have liked last year because we got just other things going on, I guess. This time of year slips around pretty quick, so.
It's basically just advertising for,
Do you have any record of what we did, Angie?
Yeah, I think it's a search.
Yeah.
What do we call it again?
just the lease,
Land.
Well, we're advertising for bids or whatever for, the first pasture lease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pasture.
That's what the heading was pasture lease.
I think that's right, I'd have to go
I
back.
recall. And we do have some farmland involved, but it's all, last year we made it all one bid for the whole thing, and I think that's, in my mind, by far the best way to go. We have one landowner, there's not any conflicting problems there. I think it's the best way to deal with it.
I'd say, yeah, this is about the time we need to do it, and may as well just get it done.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had that on my list for today, and
That's okay.
didn't get it wrote on my notepad here, so. Dealing with the H words.
I just gotta find which motion it was.
Kind of have an H at a time, with the H.
We got through it.
I guess.
Okay. So, I have the award, agricultural land lease bid for that, okay, let me go back and do. Purchased it at the end of 2024.
What?
Does that just changed?
Yeah, back when they redid the floodplain in November last year, all that red is considered floodplain now. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know it.
Where?
My property out there on,
Out there around my garage. Hmm. Really? See, the only thing about it is this all drains into my pond.
I'm happy for you.
Me too. But, yeah, that's the latest one.
When's that ever been flooded?
Not that I remember, but I ain't been around that long, so.
It was like 1954, or 51.
51?
Calling me.
That's great.
Huh?
I said that's great.
Well, not so much.
I can't comprehend that. It says it was flooded, so it wasn't in there before.
No, they just redid all those.
No,
FEMA redid all those flood.
Oh, she's looking for that motion. We can go ahead and
Year
pass
ago,
it.
year and a half ago, so, and that's,
Other than that.
what was that in?
Yeah.
Can I protest that?
You'd have to fight with FEMA, and I don't know, that's a good question.
I don't know how that works.
I have the land lease agreement between Levo and commissioners.
But if you
That's not it, that's for shower.
it can't be that much, because this is not in it.
Okay, I thought this was lower. Not very damn much.
That's probably how it's worded.
And they
what
shut it,
was.
they
I
shot
can't
it in with
remember.
this.
It might have been for,
They shot it in with LiDAR, which is a
I
satellite
typed
image.
agriculture, land lease.
because I know we worked on putting the language together to get the notice out, and then something had to have gone out for people
Yeah.
to respond to, because you had.
Yeah, we had a notification for the bids.
I had calls and told them to come into the office. to
Yeah,
fill that
yeah.
paperwork out.
And it had to have been in 2024 maybe.
I don't think so, because we were later than normal.
Yeah, we got
My
it.
recollection.
It was approved to award in March 24th, but,
There would have been one in 25, wouldn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was after the first year. I'm just sure, because I know at the time, it was like, we gotta get this done, because some of this is brome, and we need, get some fertilizer on here possibly.
Okay, then I'll just probably have to go each week till I find it. Cause it's not popping up.
There's always something, ain't it?
Yeah. And it's never been floodplain before.
Well, let's try this, maybe.
Boy, you're not even gonna be able to get to your building, man, that's dangerous.
How about a boat?
After that came out.
Yeah, because they came back and dinged me, the mortgage company, because it was all my stuff was put in floodplain too. Shooting on mine, had to do flood insurance.
Really? That's neat. Good.
Who determines that? FEMA, federal government?
I didn't know what it was.
And you, wait, say, can I protest it? I said, yeah, it's FEMA. I think, good luck.
Better do it right, John. He's going down.
I don't know the date they added this, but I know it's been within the last year and a half.
I see. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I sure had no notification of it.
You were having a good day.
Don't take this the wrong way. So did you sign a check today, Mark?
I did. I know.
You signed a lot of them.
The ones that are for later are no big deal, but technically you're not on the account. Just saying.
We approved that earlier.
I got the resolution.
Yeah, we passed a resolution.
Is your autograph at the bank on our
Whatever
card,
it will be.
signature card?
Hurry up, get down there, Richard.
Yeah, I have to tell her who to make the card for, so then we can sign it.
Okay, here it is.
Okay.
I found it.
Mark wrote a bunch of hot chicks.
That's
What's
funny.
new? Man, I'm glad I got that deal.
Way to go, Mark.
On you, they're gonna have that on file for the acceptance.
Maybe I can get my valuation lowered.
I would definitely think so.
That's pretty annoying. That was the next subdivision of Burlington, not that I'm worried about.
I know.
For me, that it is a nice location, I feel like. I wasn't worried about it, just.
Subdivision, swimming pool, whatever you wanna call it.
Okay, whatever. Ski resort.
Ski resort.
I
Recreational facility.
Okay, so that's,
March 3rd.
it's the same as last year, right? I mean,
I just copied it.
okay, is that lit good way?
Yeah. Because that packet will give them all the information they need, so I don't think we need any dates or anything in here now, just publish it as soon as we can, I guess. Doesn't that sound okay?
Yeah. I mean, do you want a deadline for when the bids will come back?
Yeah. How long we wanna,
Let's see, did I make that for you guys last year, or did Wade? Did you make the bid notice last year for them on that tillable land?
I probably did, I'd have to look at my
I gotta get out of here. My
folder.
package was delivered.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
they found what we put in the paper.
Or the motion that was made.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add a date for when bids are due
I think that was on the notice,
on the notice.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess he would just need to know what date you want him due. Cause the motion's exactly the same as it was last year, so it was probably in the notice.
when did we approve the?
So March 3rd is when you made the motion, and March 24th is when you awarded it.
Yeah.
So basically a couple weeks.
We were late last year, in my opinion. Pardon me?
Go to the 9th, that'd be a good month. Want to be out.
February 9th?
Yeah, February 9th.
That deadline for the 9th?
Yeah, that return.
Yeah. And then we'll have to get the packets developed right away. We're gonna put the notice in.
Do you intend to award it on the 9th, or
Have
just?
your deadline to have them turned in by the 9th.
Then we could award them on like 16th.
Yeah, 16th.
That would be sufficient, wouldn't it, Todd?
I think it'd be sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not on the 16th, that's President's Day, so it'd be the 17th.
17th.
I would suggest, having your due date on a Friday at 4 o'clock. That way, everybody can bring them in, get them in, and then they can be reviewed
We can address it in the following week.
on the following week. Right.
The 13th, 6th.
Either the 6th or the 13th. If you're gonna do it on the, award them on the 17th, is that late enough? I just don't know enough to, or is that early enough? Or do you need
I
something?
think so.
Is the deadline February 13th?
Yeah.
To be turned in to the Coffee County Clerk's office no later than 4 p.m. on February 13th.
Yeah.
Was that a Friday?
Yeah.
Yes, Friday the 13th.
It's kind of scary, right?
A couple movies too.
It's a full court day for me. It's one of those Fridays where,
Wow, yeah, they're really full down here.
yeah. Well, and then that same week, I've got a 3-day jury trial, so.
Okay, entertain the motion to solicit bids for leasing 242.4 acres, more or less, for the purpose of producing crops on 31.54 acres of tillable farmland and the additional area of land for haying, to be within the boundaries located within Section 10, Township 19, Range 15 east of the 6 p.m. Coffee County, Kansas. Reference the map of the land area located in the county clerk's office that designates the land that is included and/or to request a bid packet. Bids due no later than Friday, February 13th, 2026 at 4 p.m.
I'll make that motion.
Seconded. Okay, got a motion by Thompson, seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. We got that done.
So does that, we don't need any motion to say that it needs put in the paper, do we? I mean,
We never, I don't think we did before. I think just, you just put it in the paper.
But yeah, when I get it
we
from
don't
Wade,
need
I
to
think.
do that, do we?
I think last time we were under a time crunch, so it moved pretty quick. My suggestion would be that it be, published at least twice, if not.
Yeah.
More. That's no problem. I mean, it, the deadline's 13, yeah. Yeah, it could run like the 22nd, 29th, and 5th.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, anything else? If not, then I suppose we can adjourn at 12:53.
Very good.